what I would say the choice is this. You're all from different backgrounds. And I would say probably your gut feeling, how you feel about your own progress would be the best answer to what class you belong in. Now, some of you are reading really very, fluently and really very well. And I would say that if you feel you've mastered the alphabet and all of the little quirks, the ach ending and the av ending and the vowels, and you can read that and you feel comfortable, I would say then fine, go on to intermediate. Don't forget, the teachers in the intermediate class are going to have students from different advanced beginner teachers who may have taught slightly different prayers, but basically they're looking for you to be able to read Hebrew. If you feel you're still struggling with the Hebrew, what would happen if you go back into an advanced beginner class, and what she said, what Julia was saying is that the teachers have agreed, especially Rabbi and Julia, that Rabbi Fields, that they'll do more review, just like we decided we needed to do more review in the beginning. So it would start an advanced beginner class from scratch. And so those, like I did, I said, we really need to go over certain letters and certain combinations with the vowels. So those teachers will do that again. And that would be like taking another run through it, only if you feel that you need that would give you the security to feel good about your reading. Okay, I can give her recommendations, but like I said, you're the one who has to really know if you're ready to go on. It's not like it's a giant step. It's just going to be different curriculum. It's not, you're not going into rabbinical school.
Carol, do you have a feeling for how fast we should be able to read?
No.
Because there's one thing to, slog through it, and it's another one to feel more comfortable.
Yeah.
As you go through.
We were not instructed to be speed readers, to instruct you. Accuracy is better, and nowhere else is that better shown than when they're reading the Torah. So tomorrow I'm going to be one of the Gabayim. I call them the Heloim and the Gabayim. So I'll be one of the Gabayim. And what happens there is if somebody has prepared a reading and they're reading the Torah and they make a mistake, which is not just a minor mistake, but a mistake that would change the meaning of the word, the Gabbai Rishon stops them, makes a correction, and they have to repeat it, except with the word for God, except with Adonai. You don't go back to read God's name. So what is important there is not how fast you read it. Nobody is calibrating how fast you throw your curveball. It's how correctly you read it. So we are really concentrating on correctness. We don't want to have one of those for Richard Sands moments. When you're reading the prayers, when you're singing the prayers, you really want to be saying it correctly, that the word's coming out correct. Fast, you'll get fast by saying it a lot, by doing it a lot. I just had an aha moment in the car on the way home today. I was giving a bottle of wine to a friend. I don't know if any of you know Yiddish, but when I was a kid, there was a phrase that was something like the dugadach. And I go, what? I never could figure it out. I even took some Yiddish classes.
Nicht du gedacht.
Nicht du, okay. Who said that?
Francis.
Francis. So I figured out, Francis, what does that mean?
Well, it shouldn't have, like, I don't know how to translate it into English.
Okay, so in the car today.
Like, it's so sorry. It shouldn't happen.
Right. So I'm
Like
going over it in my head, and I figured it probably is something like nicht auf dir gesucht or nicht auf dir gesucht. It shouldn't happen to you.
Right.
Nicht auf, not on you, spoken, gesucht. It shouldn't be spoken to you. If you see somebody with a terrible infirmity, you say nicht auf dir gesucht.
Nicht du gedacht. It's almost like God forbid.
Okay, and I couldn't figure it out all these years, and I won't tell you how old I am. It sounded like to me nicht du gedacht. I said, what does that mean? I figured it out. You will figure out these words that give you a problem. All of a sudden, one day, like that, we had that word shosayich. All of a sudden, you say, oh, I got it. I could say these. I got this. right? Those
Carol.
different ones. So think about where you want to be. And I will recommend you also, but I think most of you will probably belong in the intermediate class. Okay, one other thing, Linda, I just want to say one other thing.
Okay.
If you get into an intermediate class and you feel uncomfortable and you feel the others are faster than you or you can't keep up, for whatever reason, you feel you don't belong there, you just email Julia, and you can always go back to an advanced beginner class. So that it's not fixed, okay? It's not something which is, you're there, you can't get out.
Is there a way our class can stay together?
Well, not really if you guys go into intermediate and I am teaching advanced beginner. Unless it's advanced beginner plus. You know,
Carol,
yes, Linda.
what I did is I listened to some intermediate class recordings this morning,
Very smart.
and they seemed more fluent than we are, but it was not, I didn't listen to their beginning classes.
I was just gonna say, this is the end of a whole semester.
Right.
So
So,
hopefully they got more fluent.
you know, that my husband looked at me and he said, "You're not that fluent." You know, it just flowed very easily.
Okay, well, that may be the end of a unit. It could be they were doing the Amidah and they had been practicing that. That's a big unit of work. And so they could have been practicing that for weeks and weeks and weeks. Okay,
Mhm.
just like in the beginning, you know, we went over Shalom Aleichem and some of the Adon Olam, Ein Keluhenu, some of the
Yeah.
easier prayers, and then we branched out. So write to me what your, you know, your choices are, you know, and I will get back to you and see if I agree. Okay, now there are one or two people who started out in the class, but for personal reasons, they couldn't continue. They will not be in your situation, which is you are going to have pre-registration before they open it up to the public,
Oh,
everybody.
good.
So you don't have to worry about getting into any class. You will be sent, automatically be sent an email, a courtesy email. You'll have about 4 days, don't go beyond that, to register for class. But you will definitely have an email to register, and that will be around January 10th. Okay, yeah, Helene.
Well, I'm just concerned about the schedule, what time the classes are.
That I don't know. I'm gonna
Because
continue.
I
at the
mean, I
same
may
time.
want the class, but not be able to attend because of my own schedule.
Okay, there, like I said, there probably in every level are several classes. Maybe there's some on a Tuesday, maybe some on a Friday, so it could be that you do have a choice. What's something that's possible for you? Okay, so that's it. So we're giving you a lot of latitude, you know, to be able to choose and evaluate how you feel. I mean, that would be like taking a college class too in a language, you know, would you be
Mhm.
ready to go on to intermediate French, you know, if you had a year? Don't forget, this was, all of you did not start with beginner, is that correct?
Correct.
Right.
I
Some of you
didn't-
were self-taught, some of you said that you learned in classes along the way. And you felt that you could take advanced beginner, right? So
No, actually, I was put in. Even though
Yeah, I was put in
after
too.
filling out
I thought I needed the very beginning class.
right, so, okay, so I found that out, that some of you needed a little help with some of the letters and some of the combinations. So we found that out as we were working together, right? And then we decided to do some practice. And I think now pretty much everybody's got the alphabet. Like I said, so there's 2 students or 2 or 3 students who kind of dropped out because they couldn't, for whatever reasons, they couldn't continue, personal reasons. So they will not be given their pre-registration. They'll have to just go in with the hoi polloi. Hoi polloi. They have to go in with everybody. All right, but you stuck with it, so bravo. And that's why you're going to get a little a little gift there. So you'll be sure to get into a class. Yes, you don't want to continue. Okay, so that's really the good thing. And I was glad to speak with Julia, she's very flexible and actually they want the best for you. They want you to be able to have fun and also learn.
Very
Okay,
nice.
so
Thank you. Carol, I have one, the classes, when I saw registration, were always on Friday. Is there any way of speaking with Julia of possibly making sure there's Tuesday or other day?
I would-
Friday, I'm
yeah.
just saying Friday preparing for Shabbos is always difficult.
Right, I understand.
Yeah.
So Francis, why don't you write to her? It's JLoad at WLCJ Women's League Conservative Judaism.org. Drop her a note, and then they must have the slot already prepared. So just
will.
mention that
This is
and
what
see, because
you're-
I don't know that. I don't know about the programming of the days, but ask her.
Okay.
Make that request. And I think there are other days. Okay. So any other questions about that? I mean, is anybody interested in continuing a few more classes in January?
Yes,
Yeah.
All
but
right.
I can't do the 7th. It's my
Right.
husband's
Yes,
75th
I-
birthday.
I realize you may be traveling or whatever, January. So I'll continue. It's the same link. It's the same Zoom link. It'll be the same time. The 1:30 to 2:30, they have us slotted for that already. I asked Julia, do we have to change? She said, no, you continue with that. So I'll prepare for those 4 classes. And the new semester begins, if it starts on a Friday, is February 4th. And then you'll know before then which class you're going into. Okay, they'll tell you what the result of the registration is and your teacher's name, and they'll give the teachers the list. Okay, so you might be spread out into different classes and not stay as a group, but because it's another level. And I think all of you probably could go in, like I said, except for the ones that dropped out. And then give it a shot. Unless you feel, no, I can't, like some things to me on the computer, I just cannot jump through that hoop. And one of them is sharing documents. I hate to say it. All right, so let's get going. So I looked through the shot. So I again said to Julia, did you send out the booklet? Helene, did you get it?
No.
She said
No.
she knew about you. And I said, Sherry Stein.
Does she have the right email? I mean, you should, because
change
you
it?
know my email. but-
I'm gonna send out her your
What
I
email
said,
address is it coming from? Maybe I'm not clicking
what
on
is your
something.
email address? Give me your email address.
It's my first name,
Elaine. Yep,
HELAINE 43 at
Okay.
gmail.com.
okay. I said Sherry Stein.
I'm learning
said-
specialist1@gmail.
Yeah, I have that. And I said,
Yeah,
and
I
Karen.
didn't get it either.
I have been asking her for weeks. I'm sorry. All right, so anyway, I looked through and I sent you this page. And this is a nice page because it has a review of a lot of letters. Okay, hopefully you all got it. Yes, no?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's
And
the
vowel.
page
I said,
again?
this is a good review page towards the end of our classes now because it has the aleph, ayin, and hey, 3 silent letters, chaf and final chaf with the ch sound, a lamed, a mem, and a final mem.
Sophie,
Mem. Oh, who said mem sofit?
I did.
Wow, impressive. So
Carol, what were the page numbers? Because I didn't
18 and
print it.
19.
18
18
and
and
19.
19.
So what is the Sophie? What does that
It
mean?
means final.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
So the word sof, when you come to the end of a line, a verse in the Torah, they sof pasuk. Da-da-da-da.
Yeah,
And your voice goes,
that's
Pasuk.
the,
And
your
you,
Yeah,
voice goes down.
I am taking a trope class
oh, great.
as well every Sunday. That's much harder than this.
Like, Ayel Moshe.
That's
Your
So,
voice goes
well,
down, yeah.
the trope I'm learning, it's like Sof pasuk. It's that.
Yeah, yeah,
melody.
yeah.
Yeah.
And when you learn Haftorah trope, it's a little different.
Mhm.
Okay,
Okay.
so Chav, final Chav, Lamed, Mem is Sofit. Whew. Sof is the noun, it means end. Sofit is the adjective, which means ending, ending, or final, final Mem. And then you have a resh and a shin, so we know the difference between shin and a sin. Okay, this one has a dot on the right. And then a tav, and it used to be called sav and tav. It's all now tav, and it's T. It doesn't matter, a T sound, whether it has a dot in it or no dot. We are not learning old Polish and Russian Jewish pronunciation. Maybe your grandfathers and your fathers did it that way. You know, they say good Shabbos, but we don't do that anymore. That's not, if you go to Israel, you're not going to hear that. Okay, and then
Except
we
for the
have
very Orthodox.
Orthodox. So like my son-in-law, okay, he is Chabad. I would hear it with him. I had a very hard time when I gabbard with somebody who was an older man from Europe. I think he was Polish, and he would daven like that with the S's on the end. Drove me absolutely bananas. So they're vowels. The dot underneath is E.
E,
The two dots A.
eh, eh,
Three dots That looks like a Mickey Mouse thing. Okay, a dot and a yod E.
E,
So it's the same as the dot and the yod, same exact sound. So we have two dots and a yod A,
eh,
same as if there were no yod. Ah, and the one that looks like a little T is ah. Okay, one is patach, one is kamatz, they're both ah. Okay, then if you have a dot on the top of a letter, it's O. Vav with the dot is O. And the two dots is the one we all hate, and that's the shva, because it's very confusing. Because sometimes the shva at the beginning of a syllable sounds like I, and at the end of a syllable, it's silent. End of a syllable, it's silent. So the one that's the silent shva is at the end of the syllable, and the one that's the sounded shva with the is sound is at the beginning of a word.
Yeah.
Like midaber, ani midaberet ivrit. That would
Do
be
you
a
speak
sounded
Hebrew?
mi. You have I as an if, midaber, okay?
So
Okay.
Carol,
Yes,
how, the one vowel that's not here is the one that looks like the T, except it's bigger.
one that looks like a T. Oh, okay,
You
right,
know, and that's
Yes.
aw.
aw, like
Aw.
aw. It's so cute. Okay, that's aw.
I keep
Alright.
trying to get this in my head and I don't know why.
So the word-
two
so Helen-
dots, the two dots, if there's two dots and two dots together, you pronounce the first set of them. The second set of the shva
If
is,
they're on like this, one on top of the other. That the shva is when there's this here, like that, I can't see it here. Okay, there's two, I can't get this. One and another dot underneath it, that's the shva.
yeah. But if if there are two together, this is one and this is one.
That's
Which
A,
one?
A,
Huh?
A. That's an A sound.
I
A.
It's an ace.
Mhm.
No, I don't think she's talking about.
I'm talking about
that
the
one.
two shvas together, like, let me know.
Oh, next to
Right.
each other, two schwas next to each other. Okay,
Yes,
I got it, I got it. Okay, so we separate them. So, the first schwa is the end of the syllable. So that's just
Okay.
a silent one. The
The
one next
first
to
one
it,
is silent.
yes,
Okay.
it was two together. Now I get you. The second one is the sounded one because that would be the beginning of a syllable.
Okay,
So schwa at the beginning of a syllable has the sound of I.
okay.
Okay. Okay, and the second one, you have to separate the two sounds, is, the second one is, the first one is silent, the second one is silent. The
Okay,
first one is sounded, the second one is,
okay.
the first is,
Got it.
I'm mixing myself up. The first one is silent.
got
The
it.
second one is sounded because it's the beginning of the word. There you go.
Okay,
That's it. That's
okay, it's the beginning of the word. Okay.
beginning of the word. At the beginning of the word, it's the schwa, which is sounded, and it has the sound of eh.
Okay,
Okay. So a lot of the infinitives in Hebrew, like lidaber, to speak, it has a lamed and the two dots under it, so it's be li. Okay? Because that's the beginning of the word, lidaber. Okay, it's not la, it's not lo, it's not lay and le, it's li, as in if, lidaber. Okay,
In row 8 on that page.
all right, we'll get there.
Okay, it's
Well,
an
what's your,
example.
Linda, what's the question? I'll take it now.
are we
It's
on
an
page
example
19
of the
or,
shra-
or 71, 64? Which page are we?
We're on page 18,
18. Oh, right, okay, got it.
18 and 19. These went
Yeah.
together, and I thought these are really good.
Right,
Like a
okay.
very good review of everything.
The
Okay,
the shin has a shva, and it's the
Right.
beginning of the word.
right, so it's Shema, Shema, Shema. Exactly
So that
right.
was a
Sounded
good example.
Sounded, a good example, Shema. Okay? That's a very good example, Shema. Okay, line 1, who's up? Olive, silent, let's go. Sherry, Lynn, you want to do line 1?
Malachi
Wait, where are you?
on line 1 on page 18. Or am I in the wrong spot?
18 in this page that I gave? It's from
Yes.
Shalom
Yeah.
Aleichem?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yes, you're right, you're right. My brain is twisted. Go ahead, you're great.
Malachi. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, line 2, Sherry Stein.
L. El. Eli. Ela. Elim.
Good. Okay, now, here's why it's so important that you have a gabbai. El means to or towards. El is a word for God. El, like El Adon. And Eli means my God. So if somebody says El and they're supposed to be reading El, that's a big boo-boo. Okay, and then the gabbai will stop them right in their tracks and say, no, it's El. El Mole Rachamim. Okay, all right. So that's why it's very important that it's said correctly, because you say the wrong sound is the wrong word. Okay, line 3. Hi, Paula. Do you have this in front of you? How are you doing?
I do. I'm doing
All right.
fine.
How about line 3?
Or
Where are
ish.
you? Wait, where are you? Line.
Yeah,
Oh,
I only do.
okay. That line above the bottom between 2
Oh,
and
not
3.
line 3, the second
right.
line of line 2.
Line 2.5.
Eloha.
Okay, now
Elo-
here's this is if there's a hey at the end and an ah, it's Eloah.
Oh,
Eloah,
Eloah. Right.
not ach, Eloah.
Eloah.
It's not Eloha, it's Eloah. And that's
Eloah.
aspirate. It's not a chet. It's still the vowel is pronounced first. Eloah. Okay, keep going.
Good word. Eloah. Elohim. Elohechem.
Very nice. Very good. Okay, line 3. Helene?
Or ish asher orech et ot emet.
All correct. So Helene, why?
Rita
are you
and Bernie
taking
Margolis or Bernie Margolis.
I'm sorry.
So, okay. All right, 4, Francis, line 4.
Let me call you back. I'm in the middle of my Hebrew class.
Malachi Shalom, Malachi El, Malachi Elohim.
I can't talk. I'm in the middle of the
Very
class.
good. Okay, 5, Janice?
Malachei or Malachei Esh.
Very good. Okay, now in line 6, we have the ayin, and I believe it used to be pronounced something like this, ayin, with a kind of a funny sound, like some of those African languages. Like, anyone remember the name Miriam Makeba?
Yes.
Okay, so she had a special, like a
Finger.
It clicked.
kind of a click sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so that ayin, we don't pronounce it like that anymore, but it once was pronounced like that. It had a strange sound. Okay, line 6. Rhoda, I don't
Oh.
see your face.
I bet, well, because I'm having my lunch. Okay.
Okay, joy.
Al Alechem El Al.
Okay, Elal, does that sound familiar, Elal?
Yes.
Airline.
Yeah,
Right, El means to, Al means above. It's like upon high. So that's the name of the national airline of Eretz Yisrael, El Al.
Yep.
Very good. Line 7, Karen.
7 is
Look at carefully the vowel.
E,
Im.
Im,
Good.
A,
Mhm.
Amo, Mech,
No,
Mechem,
Amim. That's the
Amim.
final mem. Yes.
and Olachim.
Olam.
Olam.
Okay, that's a square one is a final mem. So Adon Olam, right? Or Melech HaOlam,
Olam.
king of the universe. Okay, Adon means master of the universe. Adon Olam, Melech HaOlam, okay, in the brachot. So that's Olam is world, so king of the world, Melech HaOlam. Line 8, let's see, did we get everybody here? Linda.
Shema, Melech,
Olam,
Ha'olam, Olam.
And I think it's, yeah, it looks like aim here. Okay, 9, Janice?
could I just ask something?
Sure,
The
anytime.
first word on 8 is Shema, not Shem. Okay, it
Shema.
just- okay, never
Okay,
mind.
remember
Okay.
the dancing partners. The shin goes with the shva, so it's a letter or a consonant and a vowel. The mem has the patach, and the ayin has nothing, but the ayin is silent, so it's shema. Okay, there's no sound after ma. The ayin is
Okay.
totally silent. Shema.
Okay,
Okay.
Shema Melech Haolam El Am Olam.
Okay. So she's got that L. Very good. All right. 10, Francis.
Shema Olam, Shalom al Olam.
Okay. Line 11, Sherry Stein.
R. Hero. Him.
Hirim.
E.
Hey. Hey.
Okay.
Har. Hirim. Hey. Okay. Tov. 12, Sherry Lynn.
Hamlachim, Ha'olam, Ha'amim.
Nice. Very nice.
And when
Okay.
they're
So you're
saying
going to see
something.
ham. So it's ham lachim. So after the mem with the shva, that's the end of the syllable. That's a stop. It's silent. Ham lachim. Okay, that's the plural of melech, hamlachim, kings. Okay, hamlachim, ha'olam, ha'amim. Okay, and 13, Paula?
Elohim, Elohim.
Elohim, Elohechem.
Good. So she's got the regular hey, which is aspirate, Elohechem, Elohechem. Oh, okay, let's go into page 19. And again, we're reviewing a lot of the letters. This is really a great review. Linda, line 1 on page 19 with the resh.
Sharei, Har, Kirim, Merosh, Rashit,
Reshit, Reshit.
Rashit.
So Genesis is Bereshit, okay? And in that word Reshit, you have Rosh. Resh, Aleph, Shin is Rosh, okay? Rosh Hashanah, the head of the year. Bereshit, in the beginning, like in the head. That's what Genesis is called, that whole first book of the 5 books of Moses in the Torah. Bereshit, in the beginning. Okay, so on line 2, Francis?
Orech, Shir, Shamor, Tamar, Rish,
What's that last word?
Resh.
Very good. Okay, and Resh happens to be the name of the letter Resh. All right, Janice, line 3.
Sharet, Shalom, Sher, Shem, Shemor, Shemech,
Well, look at it again.
Shemek, Shemek,
There's a under that ch, under the final.
Shemeach, Shemeach,
Shemecha, Shemecha,
Shemecha,
Shemecha.
Shema,
Shimcha.
Shimcha,
Okay, if you go to Israel and you say to somebody, and it's a male, Ma Shimcha, it means, what's your name? Now you can go to Israel, you can speak Hebrew. You can all say, Shalom, Ma Shimcha, and that's the end of your conversation. Okay, you shouldn't talk to strangers anyway. Okay, Ma Shimcha. Okay. 4, Helene, line 4.
Okay. Shema, Shishi, Shalishi, Shel, Sheshet.
Okay.
Aren't these numbers? Some of these are numbers.
Okay,
These
Shishi,
words.
right. Shishi is, if you're calling, when you're calling people up to the Torah for the Aliyahs. So the first one is Rishonah, but the second one is, the word is Aliyah. That's a feminine word. So usually we use a feminine, the first Aliyah, okay? Because the adjective has to go be feminine with the feminine noun. These are not, it would be Shishit, Yamod, Shishit, and then Shlishi, so Shishi is 6. 6th, Shishi, Shlishi is a 3rd, and we would say Yamod, Shlishit. And okay, Sheshet is a 6. Sheshet.
I thought you said Shishi was 6.
Yeah,
Shishi.
Sheshet Jamim, it's the 7 of days. It's a hello there, Rhoda. Okay, yeah, Sheshet Jamim, 6 days. It's not just it's like the 6th of days. It's possessive. Just trust me, it means 6. Sheshet Jamim.
Okay, all right.
Shlishit is 3rd, Shishi or Shishit is 6th, and there you go. Line 5, my friend Rhoda.
Ish, Asher, Shamor.
Very good. Shamor v'zachor means observe, shamor v'zachor, and remember, shamor, it's about the commandments. Shamor, guard or observe. Shamor v'zachor, remember. Okay. Okay, line 6. Francis.
Sharet, Et, Ot, Oto, Emet, Sheshet, Reshit.
Okay, does anyone know what emet means?
Truth.
Right,
Truth.
and when somebody wants to say, if that's true, they say be'emet. Question, is that so? Be'emet, really? Okay, emet, very good, truth. Okay, I think, where are we? Emet, we're on line 7. Line 7, Helene, line 7.
Torah,
Tehillah,
Tehillah, Tamar, Toch.
Beautiful. Okay, Helene, why are you taking the Trub class?
I like I've read the Torah before just from a memory, a portion. I just wanted to learn to chant Torah.
Oh, you'll chant. You're going to really do it.
And
Okay.
luckily, we have a member of our congregation who's offered to teach people free.
That's
So
great.
why not
Well,
take advantage of it?
Absolutely. So you'll be a Torah reader soon.
Well, our sisterhood Shabbat is January,
15th.
end of January.
22nd.
I'm learning this portion right here.
It's a
Wow.
short,
What's the
Only 3
portion?
verses.
Okay,
But,
when is the date? Because the 15th, I think, is
I think it's
Song
the
of the Sea.
29th, the 29th of
Okay.
January. This is
Where-
the third Aliyah,
Uh-huh.
Exodus 23, 30, 31 through 33.
so you're in the book of Shemot. Very nice. I have a
Right.
really large Torah reading next week.
Yeah.
Okay, Rhoda, 8.
Torat, Emet, Tachalit.
Tachli. Anyone know the word tachlis?
Yes.
What does that mean?
Um,
Like tachlis, it's for
It-
real. like-
yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
taking a course through Hadassah. It's Tachless Hebrew. It's how people speak.
Yeah,
How
tachlis.
people speak?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like,
You mean
would
like
ha- how you
street,
would have
like
a
street talk,
conversation.
like street talk?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
real Hebrew, real.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
non-biblical
I wish I
Hebrew.
could take that too. I can
Well,
only get
through
so much in my
Hadassah.
head.
Who's giving that? I mean,
Hadassah.
is it someone who speaks, is it an Israeli?
He's an American Israeli,
Yeah,
and his
so-
Hebrew is gorgeous, but his English is gorgeous. It's usually the Slikah. So he was the Slikah in Manhattan, and then he moved back to Tel Aviv.
He was a shaliach.
Shaliach, thank you.
Shaliach. Sherry, I was gonna ask you something. Okay, here's an expression. He'll laugh. Tell him this, write it down. Coats b'tachat.
Oats?
Coats b'tachat. It means you're a pain in my ass.
God. Oh,
Coats-
that's a good one to know. It's definitely.
Coats really
street
means a
talk.
thorn. Tachat is your behind.
Tachas, like in
Coats
Yiddish.
b'tachat. All right? So
Tachat.
you tell him you know that expression.
I'll use it to my husband.
Okay, there you go. Coats with you already. Coats b'tachat.
But it's Hebrew, not Yiddish.
That is absolutely beautiful
Hebrew.
Hebrew. That's Hebrew. Okay, it is. There's another expression they use in the army, yashar v'la inyan, straight and to the point. Like Israelis are known to be abrupt. They
Mhm.
don't horse around with all the finesses.
Yeah.
The niceties.
Yashar v'la inyan, straight, get to the point. Straight, v'la inyan is the point, straight and to the point. Don't give me all the fine stuff. What do you want to say? What's the tachlis? Okay, here we go. Okay, line 9. Karen, 9.
Melech, Melachim, Malchei,
9 is Melech,
Malachim,
Melech Haim,
Wait, Melachim.
Melech Haim,
Melachim.
Melachim,
There you go.
Melech,
All right, watch the vowels.
Melach,
Karen, watch the vowels. The mem has a. Ma.
Malach,
Lamed has a shva, it's a stop. Mal.
sorry,
That's okay.
Mal-
And the hak has a mal che.
hey,
Mal che. Mal che.
Malche
And the last word?
Malachim,
is Malacha,
Che. Malache. Malache. Okay, very good. 10. Paula,
Mo,
10.
10, yeah. Shemo,
Mhm.
Shim, Shimcha, Tamar,
Meiro,
Merosh.
Good. Now notice in the word shimcha, if you're really writing in Hebrew with real words, that would have a shva under it. But this is practice. They just want you to take a look at the whole thing and see if you can figure out the sounds. But that would have a, that, to me, it looks like it's naked. It needs that schwa under it grammatically. Okay, line 11, Sherry Lynn.
Shamor, Emet, Shema.
Very good. Okay, 12, Janice.
Shalom
Aleichem.
alechem.
Shalom Aleichem. Good. Shalom Aleichem. Aleichem Shalom. If you say Shalom Aleichem to somebody in Israel, they'll say Aleichem Shalom. They'll just turn it back. Okay. That's why it's Shalom Aleichem. And then they say Aleichem upon you. Peace. Aleichem Shalom. Okay. 13, Linda.
Sham,
Shalom.
Olam,
Shalom.
Hirim.
Very nice. Very good. 14. 14. Rhoda.
Melech, Melech, Malachim, Malachim.
Very good. Do I have everybody? Is there anybody that I'm not calling on because I can't see them on the screen? Okay, is there anybody who's just not visible? All right, speak up. Okay, so now
But
we're,
I have a request.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm hearing someone other than someone other than
Yes.
the person who's supposed to be talking
right,
before the other one is talking, and it's very confusing.
yes.
So
I agree.
maybe mute if you're not to be called on.
Well, I would just say, if someone is called on, don't speak along with them, so we can actually hear that person. Okay, 14 is Malchei, Malachei, Shalom Aleichem.
Yep.
And then now 15, I want to make sure we get those vowels correct. Karen, 15.
El, Al,
Perfect. Okay, so it's really important to get those vowels straight. L, Al. She did a good job. 16, Paula.
Shel, Shalishi,
Mm-hmm.
Tehillah, Techilit,
Tach.
Tachlit.
Good. Okay, so Tehillah is a psalm. Tehillah David. So your favorite, Ashrei Yosh. Before you start in with Ashrei, Tehillah David. It's a psalm of David. Tehillah David. Just a point. How many psalms are there written by David? How many altogether? There are a lot. Well, today we're going to look at the last one. 150. Okay, Havul Adonai, 150. Okay, 17 is Malchei and Malachei. Malachei means the angels of. Okay, so you have 18, the final Chav, Melech. And notice there's no vowel under the final Chav, the Chav Sofit. And 19, Shimcha. Again, there's no vowel under the mem, but in real Hebrew, grammatical Hebrew, there would have to be. And Amcha. Okay, let's take out the other page. So we have here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I chose 5 short psalms. And Havul Adonai, as I told you once before, we were going to attempt it. It is the last one of the psalms of 150. It's number 150. Mizmor, it's a psalm LeDavid, a psalm of David. Havul Adonai. Praise God. And there are 2 times when we have 2 different melodies. Friday night, and I was trying to teach you the melody a while ago, and then you wanted just to read, but so the one is a fast one. Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai kavod va'oz, Havul Adonai kavod shemo, Hishtachavul Adonai b'chadrat kodesh. And so that's a faster one. When you come into services, you'll be able to identify if it's Friday night or Saturday morning by the melody. We put the Torah away, it goes like this, slower. Havul Adonai b'nei Elim, Havul Adonai kavod va'oz, Havu l'Adonai kavod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai b'hadrat kodesh. Then the cantor goes, Kol Adonai halamayim, el hakavod hirim. And then we pick it up. Adonai lama, Adon, okay. Kol Adonai ba'koach, Kol Adonai be'hat, and so forth. That's in a non-COVID life. They used to take the Torahs down the aisle and people would take their tzitzit and they would touch it and kiss it. Okay, by the way, the way you do that is you take the tzitzit and you touch the Torah, which is the holy thing, and then bring that to your lips. Okay, so you touch the Torah with your fringes or your finger. Touch the Torah because it's covered, right? It's going to be put away. You touch it and then you kiss. You bring the holy to you.
Or with the
That's-
sitter as well, right?
You can take the siddur, take the book, touch it, and kiss the siddur. Okay, but the idea is that the holy thing is the Torah. Okay, all right. So, like I said, Friday night, it's faster. Saturday morning is da 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 da. Is a much slower. And if you've been to services, you'll hear the differences in the same prayer, the exact same words. Okay, but the melody is different. And Friday night, they always do the one that's the faster. Da 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 dun da dun da 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 dun da 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 dum da 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 dum dee 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 da 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 dum dee 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 dee. Okay, so you were talking about speed. So if they have a snappy melody, you really, to sing along, you need to know the words, right? Because sometimes you'll find yourself sitting there and the cantor is going, where did he go? Runaway cantor, right? I'm still on the second line and he's on the third paragraph. Okay, so then to sing along, you need to really know the words. So that's what we're attempting to do, is really learn the words. So let's take Havu Adonai and let's repeat some of these words. So it's Havu Adonai,
Adonai,
B'nai Elim,
B'nai
Elim,
Havu Adonai,
Havu Adonai,
Kavod Va'oz.
Kavod
Va'oz.
Okay, now that Ladonai, it's La, and then you have the two yuds and that ah under it. So it's Ladonai. You just put that together. La,
Adonai.
La Adonai. And when you say it together, Ladonai, you don't say La Adonai, you go Ladonai. The second line is Havu Ladonai,
Havu Adonai,
Kavod Shemo,
Kavod Shemo,
Hishtachavu,
Tachavu,
Ladonai,
Adonai,
Behadrat
Beharat
Kodesh.
Kodesh.
Okay, so let's take a look at that longer word, and it's Hishtachavu. Okay, so you want to know about the Shema. Hish, that's the end of the syllable. So you don't have any sound under that shin. It's a stop. Hish. And then you have ta, cha, and you have a vav with an u vowel, vu. Okay, you've got a letter and a vowel, a vav and u, vu. So it's hish, ta, cha, vu. Say it.
Ishtahavu.
Then the third line is Kol Adonai
Adonai.
Al Hamayim.
Al-Hamayim.
What does Mayim mean?
Water.
Water.
I remember I explained this whole thing to you, this scene where God's voice is over the deeps. The voice of God upon the water. El HaKavod,
El
Hakavod.
Hirim.
Green.
Okay, then that in the middle of the line.
When you mentioned that when someone does something well, you say kol hakavod. Is
Right,
that the
all
word?
honor to you, all respect. Kavod is honor or respect. Kol hakavod, all honor. So if you get to read Torah, your first Torah reading, people will say Kol hakavod. Okay,
Mhm.
all honor to you. You did a good job. Even if you do a lousy job, they'll still say Kol hakavod for attempting. No, but really, it's something which takes a lot of practice. And even if you mess up, you put the time and the intention into it, the kavanah, the intention to do it. And so kol hakavod, because look at all those other people sitting out there who didn't bother to learn trope, who don't care about reading Torah, right? So kol hakavod to you, all honor, even to
You
attempt.
asked me why I wanted to do it. I just feel it's a total honor
There you go.
to
It
be
is-
able
it
to
is
be
an
that
honor.
close to the Torah.
Okay, it's an honor to the Torah. It's an honor to the congregation because you are serving the congregation. So, not everybody has that skill. Not everybody wants to put the time, to invest the time into learning that skill. Let me tell you, when I'm studying Torah, I have to do, I think, 12 lines for not this Shabbat, next Shabbat. I'll be studying hours.
Well, that makes
Again
me
and
feel
again and
better because
again.
I need weeks, not hours. I need weeks.
You will.
Did somebody make a recording for you?
No, I
No.
have to learn to read the Hebrew. This is helping this class. I have to read the Hebrew, but then I also have to chant the
Right.
marks that
The
are
trope.
there to
Yeah, the
make the
trope, yeah.
melody.
Yeah.
So the way you do it is a little bit at a time. You take a phrase at a time, take one verse at a time until you really know that verse. Sing it again and again and again and again until it's actually coming out of your ears.
The way the teacher is teaching me is he has, I don't know how he gets this. He blows it up. One side is with the trope marks and the other, which includes the
Vowels.
all the other
It's
vowels.
from a
And then
tikkun.
the other side has no trope marks or vowels like it looks
looks like a Torah.
supposedly
Okay.
in the
Torah.
That's
Torah.
how it,
Elaine,
So we
that's called
first
the
have to
tikkun.
learn to read the Hebrew
Yep.
on one side, read it on the other side. Then we have to learn just the trope sound,
Mhm.
and then we put it together. The Hebrew
That
and the
book-
trope together.
That book is, it gives you the trope. It's called a tikkun. Okay,
Yes.
anyone who
Yeah,
studies Torah.
I have one.
Yeah, and that's exactly how it's done. So that when you're getting to the side without vowels and without any trope marks, that's cold turkey. That's the way it actually looks in the Torah.
Yeah. However,
Sherry,
But I've
Okay.
noticed from the couple of times I've read the Torah only from memory, thank goodness our sisterhood committee that did this let us go and take a picture of the Torah we were going to read out of.
Yeah.
this is a
Because
picture of the Torah that
the
I'm gonna
fonts are
use.
all different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, in a tikkun, you'll see there's different calligraphers.
yes.
And so it's slightly different and different Torahs slightly different. Sherry Lynn, you were going to say,
Okay, my husband teaches bar and bat mitzvah kids.
oh,
And so a few years ago, we purchased a new Torah for our congregation in
wow.
memory of our late Rebbitzin. And so they had a project of taking pictures of every single page of every single Torah that we have. And we don't have that many because we're not that old of a congregation. But I'm going to be reading
Wow.
for our sisterhood Shabbat. I don't know, can you see that?
Yeah.
This is for Exodus 27, verses 9 to 12. And that's in February 5th.
So you know the trope.
Kind of. There's certain melodies that I remember from when I studied for my bat mitzvah, and I actually read I shared it with one other woman, and we split the Haftorah in half. So I really learned the trope then for the Haftorah, and then the Torah trope is a little bit different, but it's similar. Like
The Haftorah is fancier.
yeah, it's much fancier, but I
Like
think
a
it's easier
paz,
because you have the vowels in front of it.
Yeah, you got the vowels and the trope. You got
I
it made.
can't even imagine learning the Haftorah trope. I'm afraid I'll really get them mixed up.
It's
But I want to learn
easier
that
to
too.
me. It's
After you
easier.
master one, make sure you've got one really mastered before you go to the other one, because the Haftorah trope is fancier.
Yeah,
Okay, but so Sherry Lynn, that's fantastic.
yeah,
So
yeah.
if you want to go over the melody, I had purchased a couple of years ago something called Trope Trainer. And what I
Wow.
loved about that is that it was big. The letters were large. So when I did a long Haftorah, it was color coded by
Mhm.
the melody, by the
Yeah.
different trope notes, and it was larger. And I used to, make a copy of that and bring that. When I did the longest Haftorah in the year, which is for Jonah
Jonah, yeah.
on Mincha Yom Kippur, it was like 3.5 pages.
Right.
But having it larger like that, and especially now, no glasses because I can't see, it gets all fogged up, was a blessing. However, that guy passed away. And I had done the update and everything. Now, I think JTS have spearheaded another trope trainer, which I'm going to look at, but you can't buy it. You have to subscribe to it for a year.
Hmm.
They're going to make money on this thing. And I'm going to ask them if the letters are larger, if they have, color coded, and I may try to, and so they have for the different, for the Haftorah and for, you can hear the melody for that.
Yeah.
So that's a way to study too, to buy that. Okay, so let's finish this one up. So at least you're gonna have this. So we did the first two, Kol Adonai, okay, Kol Adonai Bakoach, Kol Adonai Behadar. Okay, let's take it from the second group of three. Kol Adonai Bakoach.
Kol Adonai
Adonai
Bakoach.
Bakoach.
Okay, you see the het on the end and the
Yeah.
and you pronounce it ach, ko, ach,
Ah,
ach. Kol Adonai Behadar.
Kol
Kol
Adonai
Adonai
Behadar.
Bahadar.
Kol Adonai Shover.
Kol
Adonai
Adonai
Shover.
Shover.
Arazim.
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 Vayishaber.
Vayishaber.
Adonai.
Adonai.
Et
Ed
Arzeh.
Et
Arzeh.
Halvanon.
Halvanon.
Halvanon. And that word is not halava. That means Lebanon. Halvanon.
Halvanon.
Okay.
Halava means Lebanon? Lebanon?
Halvanon means Lebanon.
Halvanon.
Okay.
Lebanon.
Ha Lebanon. Ha like the-
Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Right.
Okay.
Halvanon. Okay. Re'emim, and now Kol Adonai Hotsev. Kol
Kol Adonai.
Adonai.
Hotsev.
Save.
Lahavot.
Where
Lahavot.
are you?
Yeah, I've lost the place too.
Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, after the two groups of 3 lines, then is a word Re'emim.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But
Kol
we didn't do the
Adonai.
last line. Wait,
Yeah.
we did-
Adonai. Oh, I see it.
Okay, Kol Adonai Chotsev.
Kol Adonai. Save.
Lahavot.
Lacham.
I have vote.
Vote.
Ish.
H.
Kol Adonai
Kol Adonai.
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 Yachil Midbar.
Yachil
Midbar.
Yachil Adonai
Yachil
Adonai.
Midbar Kadesh.
Midbar.
Kadesh.
Kadesh.
Kol Adonai
Kol
Adonai.
Yecholel
Yecholel.
Ayalot.
Ayalot.
Vayeches Sof Ya'arot.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just going to tell you, look at the word Vayeches Sof. Okay, remember last week I said about the double duty dot. That is a sin, Vayeches Sof. It has, if it was written out fully, it would have a dot next to the dot on the sin.
Right.
Because it needs a vowel.
Mhm.
Va, ye, che, and then you have a sin. Where's the vowel? It's a dot. But the dot on the sin doubles as the dot on the sin and the O vowel, the dot, like in the word Moshe. Okay, so you have to know this word. It's Vayeche Sof. Ya'arot. Okay. Ya'arot.
Yeah.
Then it's
Yeah.
Uv He Halot. I'm sorry.
Follow.
Hey, hello. Kulo.
Kulo.
Omer.
Omer.
Kavod.
Kavod.
Adonai.
Adonai.
Lamavul.
Vamavul.
Yashav,
Yeshav,
Vayeshev,
Vayeshev,
Adonai,
Adonai,
Melech Leolam,
Melech Leolam.
Adonai Oz,
Adonai Oz,
Le'amo Yitain,
La'amo,
Yitain.
Yitain.
Te,
Adonai Yivarech,
Adonai
Adonai
Yivarech,
Yivarech
Et Amo Vashalom.
et Amo Vashalom.
Shalom.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We didn't finish all of them because it's, this one is the big one. The others are smaller and very catchy tunes. So when we work in January, we'll finish that up. And then if there's anything particular, if you want me to go over how to do an Aliyah or any particular part of a service, anything that, that I'm familiar with that you want to really go over, even if it's something we did, if it's Aleinu, Adon Olam, and Kelahon, anything you really want to do, then just write it to me and I'll fit it in.
But you don't want it to be the Ashrei still.
I'll do Ashrei, I don't care.
I'm ours is the January 22nd, and I'm a Levi, so I have the third Aliyah,
Why the third and not the second?
a second Aliyah,
Okay.
because we have two Kohanes. That's why.
Oh.
Two
okay.
women are Kohanes, and I'm the only Levi.
So when they call you up, they should say
Say
Ta'amo Shlishit.
Halevi.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Halevi.
Mhm.
Well, they would call you Ta'amo. What's your Hebrew name?
Shoshana Davida. Bat Sibia Leah.
Ta'amod, Shoshana Davida, Shlishit, Bat
Sibia Leah.
Levi, and then your father's name.
Itzak.
Okay, because they're gonna call you up, Bat Yitzhak.
Uh-huh.
Ta'amod, Shoshana Davida, well, in Archel, we don't call up Levi's, but
You don't.
Bat, not Archel, but Yitzhak Halevi. They don't
Mhm.
call
'Cause
you.
it comes-
They
it
won't
comes
call
from
you
my
the
father.
Levite. Their
Yeah.
father is the Levite.
Right.
You're
Right.
nothing.
I'm the end of the line.
I thought you were supposed to say your mother's name when you have it.
But
Oh, that's
get-
when you read.
because I'm a Levy for my father, and so like my children are not Levies
Right.
because it's lost with the
Ah.
father.
Okay.
She
No,
could
it's
put
lost
her
with
mother.
me.
She says, Bat so-and-so Halevi Vechana, whatever. If she wishes to say her mother, but she has to put her father first. Bat so-and-so Halevi
Right.
Ve, and here comes the secondary
Yeah.
birth.
Right,
Chana,
my
the
mother.
who gave birth to her and who reared her.
Yes.
Whatever.